Hi guys. So let's look into the energies for the 26th to the 4th for Twin Flames. It's a really interesting time right now. Everybody's talking about the gateway, the 1111 gateway on Tuesday, the 27th. The reason why it's an 1111 gateway is because when you add up February 27th, the numbers, it comes to 11, and then 2018 is also 11. So this is a really big shift, and I've had questions from people. Is this a shift? Is this like an awakening for, or is this like a big paradigm shift for awakened twins, unawakened twins? It's for both. There's been a lot of stuff, a lot of tests happening in the twin flame community. A lot of people are going through back and forth moments, I guess. Is this real? Is this what I'm supposed to be doing? A lot of people are giving up because they don't want to have to deal with the pressure anymore. It's a very, very heavy time. And I don't mean heavy in like bad. I mean heavy in just like there's a lot. There's a lot going on in the cosmos. You know, we have a full moon in Virgo on the 1st of March this week, which is on Thursday. And that's really a time to kind of bring together your mind, body, and spirit. It's like a culmination of what did we learn at the new moon in Aquarius with the eclipse. And this is kind of that culmination time of bringing in your mind, body, and spirit. You might be judging yourself a little bit more harshly. You might, because, you know, Virgo's that perfectionist. Virgo wants to get down to the brass tacks and find out exactly where we need to fix ourselves, fix our lives in order to move forward. So this Virgo full moon really, instead of judging yourself, really kind of discern the places in your life that need to be tweaked so that you are fulfilling your divine purpose every single day. And that's really like, make sure you're staying true to yourself, true to how you feel you should be treated, how you feel, and I mean this for the divine masculine and the divine feminine. And the reason why I'm saying this is there's this tendency with Mercury and Mars squaring off. Mercury's going into Aries, and so communications, and Venus is going into Aries as well. Communication's going to be like super harsh, and it could have a tendency to not be so nice. So make sure that you are remembering who you are and remembering what your true purpose is, and not let somebody else, even if it is your soulmate, even if it is your twin flame, like, don't, you still get to be treated with respect, right? Like, that should be a given. Just because it is your twin flame, or just because it is your soulmate, just because it is your divine partner, does not mean they get to treat you disrespectfully and you just take it. Like, that's truly a big lesson that's going on right now. So let's look and see. Let's look at the divine feminine first. Because I feel like with the Virgo full moon, Virgo is a very feminine aspect. And I think with the culmination of everything, with the divine feminine right now, they are mastering themselves, you know? So we have darkest fears. And this is so true to form for the divine feminine. There are a lot of fears that are bubbling to the surface about our past experiences, our past traumas. And if we do not look into that and heal what our fears are in life, if it's the fear that we're going to lose our twin flame, if it's the fear that we're not going to be able to move forward energetically, if it's a fear that the way that our life is going to be played out isn't, it's like we feel like we're not going to be strong enough to do it. That to me is like one of the biggest fears that I'm feeling for the divine feminine right now. So let's see. Jupiter is going retrograde. It's not this week, it's next week. And that's going to be a really good time for everybody to kind of go within. That's really funny. I said go within, and the High Priestess is what I pulled out as I was saying it. Really go within, and because, you know, Jupiter tends to create some chaos. It's like the planet that expands the gifts of the signs, right? And it's right now it's expanding all of this transformation and change. So our environments have been changing and things have been really chaotic around us. But now we get to pull ourselves within because Jupiter is going retrograde. And I think intuitively we know, Four of Pentacles, that there are some things still in the 3D that the Divine Feminine really has to release in order to move forward and to face our fears. What is it about our lives that are just not quite there yet, just not quite right yet? I talk with people, when I do my twin flame readings, I talk with people about how we really have to let go of the 3D version of who we are. Page of Pentacles. And kind of change our focus on not focusing on being with our twin flame, our soulmate, our divine partner in the 3D, but more doing it in the 5D plane. I think there's a big fear that we're not going to be offered something, or if we do get offered something, we're going to have to like beg for it, and it's going to be really small, and we're going to feel insignificant almost. The Page of Pentacles is often saying, you know, this is the beginning, but I think that the fear is that we're not going to be offered that. The World. So we're not being offered. We feel like we're coming to the end of a cycle. And once we get to the end of that cycle, once we stand up for ourselves and know that we're letting go of the, you know, like if we let go of this 3D idea of being with our divine partner, it's like, will they come back? But this is something like you have to be fully okay with letting go of this very stable person you want to have in your life. You have to be fully okay with being able to let go of that. And then usually the beginning happens where, you know, you finally let that go. And now you get to have your gift. Your gift comes in. We forget that that's how things work sometimes. We have to be able to trust the universe and to give it up to the universe. And be fully okay. And then we have the King of Cups. So the Divine Feminine could be dealing with two different types of personalities, or it could be the same. It could be two different types of people, two different masculines, or it could be that it's one person that has two different types of personalities. The Divine Feminine really needs somebody who's stable and emotionally, King of Cups, emotionally mature. Somebody who is very stable in their life, King of Pentacles. So this could be like two aspects of the same person, or it could be two different people. And it's like, you know, is there a decision here that needs to be made? Do I, you know, or one of these my divine partner and the other one isn't, and I have to make that choice? And that's my fear. That this is the choice I have to make. I have to end something so I can begin something else. Could very well be. But with this, I want to clarify the Four of Pentacles. What is it that we need to, what are we holding on to? What is it that we're holding on to way too tightly? Control. holding on to control, the Emperor. Feeling like we have to control the way that this story plays out, when we know that we have absolutely no control of what the universe is going to do for us. So what's the Page of Pentacles? Is this an offering? Is this what you need to, do you want to be offered this, or do you want to wait until it's the Ace? Is that your fear? Haha, do you want it to wait till it's the Ace of Pentacles? I love my job. Love my job. So we don't want just a page offering. We want the Ace offering. And what our fear is if we let go of control, we're not going to get this Ace of Pentacles, but do we settle with the page? So ending that cycle of going over and over and over and over and over again. We get to the Ace of Cups with the World. So once we end the cycle and we let go of control, because I feel like that's what the cycle is constantly needing to control the way that this works. And our fear is letting it go. But if you give up that fear and you let the universe take the reins, you get the Ace of Cups. And that's where the beauty is, right? And intuitively, I feel like the Divine Feminine is very open right now, intuitively. So let's see who this King of Pentacles is. Who is this stable person? Is this the divine partner? Is this what you want the divine partner to be? Some of you may be moving towards the King of Pentacles pretty quickly. 8 of Wands, communication, internet communication. You could be communicating what you desire, what you want. The Divine Feminine may be saying, I need my Ace of Cups. I need my Ace of Pentacles. I'm letting go of this. I'm letting go of thinking that you're going to provide the stability for me in this. You know, you're going to provide the emotional maturity and support. So who's the King of Cups? I don't normally go through signs when I do these readings because it's so general. It could be any sign. I feel like these are just really characteristics of the kind of masculine that the feminine wants in her life. Somebody who is stable, somebody who is, you know, can take care of his own, somebody who is emotionally mature and can understand her on a level that most people don't, you know, and they do that on purpose, like not, you know, somebody who can fulfill her desires. 9 of Cups. Somebody she doesn't have to beg for affection from. And so in releasing the fears that we have this week, letting go of needing to control what's going on in our environment, and accepting that we don't just want to have the Page of Pentacles, we want to have the Ace of Pentacles. Accepting that we're not going to go through this cycle over and over and over again to get that Ace of Cups. We're going to end the cycle and we're going to start brand new. And this needs to be communicated. These are the desires. These are the wishes that I want. And you'll either move in that direction and your divine partner will follow your lead. If you're not in union, if you don't know who your divine partner is, I feel like you are kind of communicating with their higher self. I need the emotional maturity. I need the stability. If your twin is not awakened, it's almost like you are catapulting yourself forward into recognizing what you truly want in a partner. And you're going that direction. Right? Okay, let's see what the divine... Ooh, bottom of the deck was Temperance, by the way. So being really patient with ourselves and healing. So let's see what the Divine Masculine energies are for the week. For today, the 26th through the 4th. I feel like it's been really rough for the Divine Masculine lately. It's been a very up and down beginning of the year so far. Dark moments. There's kind of been some clarity at times, and then they just shut down almost, you know. I also think that this is a really big time for the Divine Masculine to start accepting the fact that things cannot go on. And this is for twins that are awake. This is for masculine who are awake and unawakened. Just in general, like the collective of masculine, it's time for them to start to recognize things are not going to be as they've always been. Women are really, they've been standing up for themselves, and it's kind of died down from the anger standpoint to this is just the way it's going to be. I'm no longer angry. I'm just standing firm in what I'm saying. And I think it's time for the masculine to really start manifesting things in his life. Start making things happen. Be the magician. Manifesting things in his life that will bring stability instead of focusing so much on I just feel like they're so woe is me right now, you know, like, and not in a bad way. It's just, man, when is all of this beat down going to stop, you know, because women have really been beaten on the masculine lately. Like, we're not taking it anymore. We're standing up for ourselves. We're not taking it anymore. And that's not the point. It's not the point to beat up on each other. The point is to be there for each other. So I think that it's really time for the masculine to kind of come out of his shell, to really open up to the possibilities of what his life can be. Strength. And 8 of Cups. It's time to start walking away from things that are no longer serving you, including ideals of the way things need to be. And you have to be strong enough to do that. You have to know that you're strong enough to do that. Because there's so much chaos and so much conflict in the masculine environment right now that it's like they just shut down. It's like too hard. They just shut down. I don't want to do this anymore. I'm way too frustrated. It's way too annoying. I'm just done. Right? So, you have to make your life happen. And you have to do it in a very respectful way. And you have to look at the feminine around you and see if they're respecting you. If you're not being respected, in the same way I said to the feminine, if they're not being respected, they need to walk away. If you're not being respected, you need to walk away. If this chaos that's going on in your life, if it's breaking you down instead of building you up, there has to be a point where you just are like, I can't take this anymore. And because the masculine has been beat up, and some of it is warranted. I mean, let's be honest. Women have been oppressed for a long time, and we no longer want to be oppressed. So some of it is warranted. But there are a lot of really good masculines out there that have great opportunities. Ace of Wands. That have stability that they can manifest in their life. 10 of Pentacles. This is like really manifest. This is like manifesting that shit. Being strong enough to walk away from all of the ideas of who you used to be, who you think you're supposed to be. Walking away from that and then manifesting things. Manifesting stability. Letting it be real. You know? So, how do you walk away from emotional things? She wants to pop out. So we have the Queen of Cups here. I'm going to say you can walk away from emotional things without being in denial and without being apathetic about it. Don't just like ghost people. Don't just run away. You really need to face it head on. I feel like some of you really need to meditate a little bit more. Get grounded. And I feel like a lot of you are in denial that there are things in your life that need to be taken care of. We have the Queen of Cups, which is representing the divine feminine in this reading. She is very intuitive, just like the High Priestess showed up in the feminine reading. She's very intuitive, she's very kind, she's very nurturing, she's very open to possibilities, right? And I feel like there's this apathetic, I'm not going to deal with my past issues and move forward feeling right now. And so this week it's time to get that strength back, you know, time to have faith in yourself. You got to have faith in yourself that you can have a new beginning, that you can go on that journey. And if you're the feminine watching for your masculine, this is really what they're going through. They are like literally trying to deny that they have things that they need to work on. And then this week, it's almost like that chaos kind of comes to a bubble. It like comes to a head. And then it's time for them to muster up that strength. And how do they do that? They walk away from emotional stuff. And I feel like there's this readiness. They're very antsy. They're very jittery. If you like look at the Fool, here, I'll pick up the Fool card and show you. If you look at the Fool, he's so ready to just go, you know, like he's going to fall off that cliff, regardless of whether there's a net underneath there or not. He's just going to go. Go do it. So, ooh, that was a lot for the Eight of Cups. Let's look at these and kind of, it's like the Divine Masculine really wants to talk. Finding justice. Finding that balance when you walk away from things. We're clarifying the Eight of Cups here. Eight of Cups. Finding that balance. Finding that justice. Things being very clear. Ace of Wands. And communicating that clarity. Really wanting to have that very romantic love. Knight of Cups. And even though there's all this confusion around it, we went from the Eight of Cups to the Seven of Cups. So, like, I feel like one by one, the Divine Masculine is starting to take things out of his life that confuse him so that he can whittle himself down to that Ace of Cups, you know? And it's a journey, you know, you can't just like let that kind of thing go. Like if you're the feminine watching the masculine, you have to be really patient with how he's working his process and not, this is like how I talked about with controlling this, you know? Because they are really working extremely hard on getting away from this conflict, from this chaos in their life. The Five of Wands, it's like they are letting go. You know, they don't want to deal with that conflict anymore. And I kind of feel like that's what the Four of Cups and the Two of Swords is. Being very apathetic to whatever chaotic crap is going on in their life so that they can move away from it, so they can look more closely at their options. I want to clarify the Ace of Wands. What is this opportunity that the universe is giving? I feel like the Five of Wands is just kind of self-explanatory right now. There is chaos in the environment of the Divine Masculine. You know, and that's what needs to be cleared up. I want to know what the Ace of Wands is. What is this great opportunity that they've been waiting on? Well, we have the Two of Wands, being comfortably stuck, and the Three of Wands. There is a progression, though. So they're waiting for this opportunity. And I kind of feel like because it's like their manifestation powers to go and be the fool and have that strength to do that. In that manifestation power that it's like they are sitting here comfortably and waiting and waiting and waiting and waiting to take flight, to break free. And then the Ace of Wands is handed to them like, here you go. And it's like that's when they realize, oh wow, I manifested that in my life. I didn't even realize I was doing it. So what is the Ten of Pentacles? What is that stability? Because I feel like this is that opportunity that turns into the Ten of Pentacles that they've been waiting on. The Knight of Wands. And often the Knight of Wands can be a wishy-washy energy, or it can be a very passionate energy. But I feel like that they're trying to make this so the stability stays and it doesn't just keep going in and out and in and out like the Knight of Wands would. And these are the options that they're being given, you know, that they're kind of whittling away, they're kind of walking away from. So they're able to offer some kind of affection. But the Divine Masculine has really been working on stability a lot this year, whether they're awakened or not. For some reason, there's this need to, it's like there's that natural nurturing side of the masculine form to rebuild themselves so that they can be stable, so they can offer more than a pentacle. You know, I mean, I remember like it was the energies for December or January where they were just feeling like a page. They weren't even feeling like they could offer much. So, who is the Queen of Cups? This will be the last one that we clarify. And then we'll close out the week. Queen of Cups for the Divine Masculine. And I kind of just feel like this is the person that they have in their energy field, you know, in their energy is the Queen of Cups. For sure. Yeah. We have the Five of Swords and we have the Empress. The first thing that kind of came to me like gut instinct was I kind of feel like the Divine Masculine is deceiving himself that he cannot be good enough or get away from this conflict because the Divine Feminine has been coming into her own and empowering herself. And that's almost why they are withdrawing. They're really in denial. This Five of Swords and the Two of Swords really in denial that because the feminine is really coming into her own, or that it's like they're denying that they can have this. They're denying that their feminine is like better than they are almost. You know what I mean? Like they're not good enough for it. But they're in such a manifestation time. I mean, like right now, it's so easy to manifest things. This is like the Virgo full moon, basically. Mind, body, spirit. Manifest things. And the 1111 portal is going to be a perfect time to be able to set your intention of what you want to manifest. What do you want out of this relationship? So the masculine is really taking, because they've taken this beating, it's like they almost don't feel like they're good enough right now. But they would never admit that. That's what the Four of Cups is saying to me. They would never admit that. And if they would admit it, it's almost in like a very nonchalant way. So I really hope you guys have a good week. And we will reconvene for next week starting March 5th. But this portal, this gateway is a really big thing. So make sure that you're really setting your intentions and opening yourself up to all the possibilities of what this union can do for you. So have a wonderful week. I will see you guys when I continue March readings. Bye.